Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you can click the subscribe button and stay for a while. I upload 3 times a week. Get ready with me, so show my stash, try on your makeup. If it's makeup or beauty related, I will be posting it. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. My hair, this is what happens for trying to use a hot round brush. I just cannot get the hang of it. The one I have might be too small, whatever the case may be. What we're really here for, which is Chanel. I did purchase the new Les Beiges Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed Powder in medium coral. So this is that big pan that you're seeing that has the 3 different tones in the pan. Kind of like the, is it Napolitan ice cream? Kind of like that. So I'm excited to get this on my face. Let me go ahead and get my base on and we can get started. All right, I am back. I only went in to base products and no cream, bronzer, or blush because I really want to see the true colors of this new Chanel product. Chanel Numero 1 foundation in B30, Cali Ray under eye brightener in golden hour, and a tiny bit of the Chanel under eye corrector concealer in B20. For powders, I went in to the Dolce & Gabbana pressed powder for my under eyes and the Dior cushion powder for the rest of my face. I always link the exact shades. I'm pretty sure it's the lightest one. So this became available at Saks Fifth Avenue and your local Chanel boutiques. The closest Chanel boutique for me is 2.5 hours away, so I decided not to go that route. And then on Saks Fifth Avenue, when it became available, the shade I wanted, or the 2 shades that I was contemplating, I wasn't sure. Also, there was like only 3 shades available, and I just feel like it's a little frustrating when Chanel releases items. 1, we don't know where they're coming. They just all of a sudden become available. 2, I don't know if they just didn't have enough inventory for like the retailer that they're using because they sold out pretty quick. I want to say like a couple hours later, no longer available, maybe 1 shade or none of them, because I could no longer find this product on the Saks Fifth Avenue website. So I told myself, just go ahead and wait until they become available on the actual Chanel website, and that's why we are here today. So I'm not sure if this is part of the spring 2024 or the summer 2024 Les Beiges collection. So yeah, I'll go look at other titles from other YouTube content creators that have already posted their review and video, and I'll just use that as my title. So the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed Powder retails for $95 and there's 5 different shades available. So I think the price went up by $5 because the eye and face palette from last year, and I can't remember if it was spring or summer, it was $90 and it had 4 different shades. Medium Coral is the shade I picked up. Let me read you the description here. A trio of energizing shades that can be worn individually or blended. Each color harmony consists of a warm bronzer for a sun-kissed effect, a vibrant blush that brightens the complexion, and a pearlescent highlighter with dazzling iridescence. Together, they deliver a healthy-looking glow that lasts up to 8 hours, as if you just spent a day in the great outdoors. Presented in an oversized version of the iconic rounded square case. Sounds lovely. 18-month shelf life, and it was made in Italia. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and swatch all 3 shades. I need to get a quick macro lens video of this, so hold please. Alright, I'm back. So let me go ahead and swatch these 3 shades. Okay, they feel soft. They remind me of the texture of the Duo blush that they last came out with. So the bronzer, ooh, creamy, and definitely more pigmented than I thought it was gonna be. The blush, pretty, also creamy. So I feel like the formulation of the bronzer might be a tiny bit softer than the blush, and then the highlight, you hear that. Okie dokie. Hold, please. Okay, that's what it looks like after swatching. And it did come with a little plastic protector. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the bronzer. These are the two brushes I pulled out just because they're a little bit more small and precise, as you could see, even though these pans are definitely bigger than the Natasha Denona in that eye and face palette. And then this one, which is soft buffer. These still fit in here. These are normally the brushes I use anyways for bronzer. Now, if I was looking for a more blown out type of bronzer, then I would use something big like this, which this is the NARS powder bronzer brush. So they suggest for you to use each shade individually, or you can swirl your brush and then use that all over the face. I'm gonna save that for another time. Realistically, I don't think that's how I would use this. Well, maybe. Kind of like the new Dior bronzer that has the blush in there built in. Kind of the same concept. But I want to see what these look like individually. I think I'm going to use this Sonia G soft buffer. Maybe I'll use the other one on the other side. And let me show you. It does fit pretty nicely in the pan. And it does pick up a decent amount of product. I'll tread softly. I will do some comparisons because I do have the oversized bronzer that Chanel came out with. Gosh, how long ago was that? 2 years ago, maybe? And the reason I went with this one instead, I think this is the second lightest shade, because I haven't been purchasing too many coral blushes, and this one has a coral blush in there, so decided to go for this one. Pretty, definitely a formula that you probably have to build up, which personally I do not mind. Okay, and it does have that typical Chanel scent. This is the Sonia G Classic Cheek. Both of these brushes are from the Fundamental set. This one's a tiny bit smaller. Bristles are shorter, not as like fat in diameter. I use both of them for bronzer, and I use this one for contour just because it's more precise. I can really get in there. I do feel like they did provide us with some pretty dark tones. 5 different colorways available. Honestly, I feel is absolutely amazing. And the darkest one looks like a good dark tone. Now I would have to go watch reviews of darker YouTube content creators to see if the darkest works on them. But I did like what I saw with the naked eye as far as tones go. Okay, I do feel like the bronzer has a tiny bit of a reddish corally undertone to it, because it almost looks like I have blush on already and I don't. My skin looks beautiful, very soft, almost like it's blurred. I'm enjoying that. Okay, now we're gonna jump into the blush, and this is the Sonia G Soft Cheek, and it does fit nicely. Ooh, okay. Pigment. Ooh, but that's a beautiful shade. Okay, I kind of did go a tiny bit overboard. So far, I'm enjoying the formula. I feel like most of Chanel's powder, whether it's bronzer, blush, whatnot, it does have a blurring quality to it because my cheeks almost look airbrushed. Okay, now we're gonna jump in to this Sonia G Worker L, and I'm gonna use the bronzer. I think it'll work. I also feel that Chanel's highlighters are pretty subtle, kind of what I personally enjoy. Oh, pretty. You see that? I use small brushes like this for highlight. Very rarely do I use a super large brush for highlighter. Does not accentuate texture. Okay, let me go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and I am going to do a couple of comparisons because I feel like this coral shade is a tiny bit similar to the peachy coral shade in the Duo blush, and then I also want to compare the eye and face palette that they came out with, Gosh, it might have been 2 years ago now. Let me finish off and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Face is nice and done. Hair is still not cooperating, of course. All right, let me tell you what else I have on my face. For brows, I went in to the Gucci brow pencil and the Make Beauty brow gel. For the lips, I have on Chanel lip liner in Beige Natural, and then the lipstick is part of a special limited edition lipstick. Terre d'Etoile, I think is the name of the shade. I honestly don't think it's available. If I find the actual shade, I'll link it down below. It was part of the Comet collection or something like that. Yeah, I'm not an expert on Chanel, FYI. Oh, in the eyes, today is May 4th when I'm filming this. So I went into my Star Wars Pat McGrath palette. This is Divine Droid and used 2 shades. May the 4th be with you. Okay, and I think that's it. That's all. Oh, Cali Ray mascara for the mascara. All right, so this little trio, Healthy Glow Sunkissed, $95 for this. I do have the Les Beiges Oversized Healthy Glow Powder. Sunkiss Medium is the shade, and this is the oversized bronzer that they came out with. I don't know how long ago, but I do want to compare this bronzer to the one in the trio. I also pulled out my eye and face palette. This is the eyeshadow and blush palette 957 Tendrice. I love this. As you can see, it is very much well loved and used. I want to compare this blush with the one in this one, and I can also compare this one with the bronzer in here, even though I don't think it's going to be at all close to the shade. Also, this is like a baked gelée formulation, so formula wise this is different from the new trio. And last but not least, the blush duo, the powder blush duo in Rosé Coquillage. I'm pretty sure this is the last Chanel product I purchased, and I want to compare this blush to the new one in this one. Okay, so let me swatch the bronzer in the new face trio. And I'm going to swatch. I'm cleaning my fingers in between swatches. I do love this. I think it is beautiful. It has a light sheen to it. The formula is super soft, super blendable. Oh, not at all. Okay. So you could see the pigmentation is not as strong as this one, and I feel like the jumbo bronzer or oversized bronzer has more sheen than the new one. The tones are completely different, and I do feel like the formula is also different, which is good for me. I'm also gonna jump in to the nude tone in here, but like I said, this is a baked formulation, so formula wise, not at all. Oh, okay. I did get a decent amount of pigment. Okay, so this is the new one. This is the oversized bronzer, and then this is from the eye and face palette, the nude blush in there. So 3 completely different tones and 3 completely different formulations, but I did want to compare just in case you were thinking about it. And again, medium coral is the shade that I got for the new Chanel face trio palette. All right, now I am going to swatch the blush, and again, I'm cleaning my fingers in between swatches. I would say this is like a matte formula for sure. Very bright. You saw the pigment. I feel like I went a tiny bit overboard. Okay, so even though it's a matte formulation, it feels very soft. Like I said, I feel like it has sort of a blurring quality to it. And even though on my hand it looks like it might have some sheen in it, I don't know that it does. That's the highlight you're seeing. Like it might just be the reflection of the texture of my hand. Okay, let's start with the blush duo, and we're only gonna swatch the corally shade. Texture feels different. I don't think the pigmentation is going to be as strong. Oh yeah, that's just one swatch. I'm gonna have to swatch it again. I feel like this formula here It's a super buildable formula because I'm really digging in and I feel like I'm not getting all that much. Okay, there we go. Formula does feel different from this one. I feel like this one feels more soft, more creamy, and this one you can tell that it's a little bit more dry and it's a true powder. So not even close to the same tone, but I feel like if I were to put only the blush from the new face palette here and the duo blush on this side, I think they would be close. Not exactly, but close. Okay, now the eye and face palette, and I wanted to swatch this one. Not the same formula at all. More pigment for sure. Oh yeah. This one, you can really build it up. Okay, so 3 different tones for sure. That makes me happy because then I don't feel like I spent $95 for nothing. Well, 101 plus tax and everything. Okay, so this is the new one. This is from the blush duo Rosé Coquillage, and then this is from the eye and face palette Intendrise. 3 different formulas for sure. Okay, and you know what? Since we're here, I'm gonna swatch the highlighter in this palette, and I'll go ahead and also swatch the highlighter in the eye and face palette just to see difference in formulation, even though I know for a fact that they are different. Oh, you see how pretty that is? I'm pretty happy that this is the colorway I decided to go with. And then like the shimmer highlight, so you can use this as a highlighter, you can use this as a shimmer in an eye look. And like I said, this is a baked Jolet formula, so not even close to the same formula, but I just wanted to swatch and compare. Oh yeah. For sure, much softer, much creamier, but I love this highlight. It is so pretty. It sits beautifully on top of the skin, and see how this one's almost like melting, and just I have to shift in order for you to see it. Oh, love it. Well, this one too. I really enjoy the powder formulas that Chanel has to offer. For the eyes, not so much. It's a hit and miss. They're not all my favorite, but when I'm looking for a soft, ethereal, just classy kind of eye look, then yes, Chanel is what I go for. Okay, so what are my thoughts on this new launch from Chanel? The Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed Powder in Medium Coral. I love this. I think the pigmentation is spot on. I am glad that this formula is a lot more pigmented than the blush duo that I have, because I feel like with that one, I do have to really build up. And also the formula is very delicate because it does get hard pan very fast. So I'm hoping that's not the case with this one, especially when swatching it. I would say it did feel a little bit more creamy than the blush duo formulation wise. So I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that that means that this is not going to get hard pan. I'm pretty careful when it comes to dipping my brushes into my powder products. I always powder my face anyways, so when I go in with, say, my powder bronzer, my powder blush, I don't have any like wet foundation on the brush itself because I always make sure and powder my face. So far, I'm enjoying it. It gets a huge thumbs up from me upon first impressions. I of course will keep using this. Now, as far as the $95 that it cost, that depends on you whether you think it's worth the $95. Keep in mind that you do get 3 different products in one face palette: blush, bronzer, and highlight. But the face palette, the eye and face palette, you got 4 different tones in here. And even though, yeah, you could probably use that face trio on your eyes as well, I feel like that was the purpose, to use it on your face and on your eyes. I don't think for the trio that was the actual purpose of it. And then you get 4 shades in this one, and I'm pretty sure this was $90. So the price did go up by $5. Now, I will say this: if you have a decent amount of Chanel products, especially blushes, Beiges. I'm pretty sure you can find something similar to this in your collection. I'm pretty sure if I did half of my face with the new Face Trio palette and then half of the other face, and I used the other Chanel products that I have in my collection, I don't think you'd be able to tell the difference between the two sides. So you don't need to run and get this. If you are in the market for something like this, luxury, then I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think they did a fabulous job with the formula. I'm excited to keep using it because I have a feeling more than likely it's going to become a favorite. I definitely feel like Chanel has become that girl for me. I feel like it's become my #1 favorite luxury brand. As far as makeup goes, I get excited when I see them launch something new. Not everything, but I do get excited. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my comparisons, and I demoed the palette for you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it helped you out in deciding whether you need this pricey item or not. Because I do think that you should really think about it and look at what you have in your collection. As I've said it before, we don't need any more makeup. I don't need any more makeup. This video is mostly meant for those of you who are thinking about purchasing this product. I'm not encouraging you to spend money that you don't have. Times are really tough right now, and I understand that. So shop smart, okay? All right, and you know what? Why don't you go ahead and use this video as inspiration to pick up your current Chanel items that you have in your collection and use them. I'm pretty sure you're going to love how your makeup turns out. All right, my lovelies, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea, all the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly does all mean the world to me. With that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you all on my next video. Bye.